Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Victory Drive. This is a great episode. I had an absolute blast recording it. We got on Sam Gaylord from Old Barn Taxidermy. We went down to southern Iowa to the African Hunt Clinic, met up with Sam Gaylord, recorded with him, recorded an absolute banger of an episode. Just a real great episode. We talked some about his background, some health stuff in the beginning because he's been doing a big health journey. And then we got into his life story, where he started from and where he's at now with Old Barn and G2 Forms and all that. So he's been absolutely fucking killing it. He is a world-class taxidermist and just an excellent entrepreneur. He has a mind for business and an eye for creativity. Honestly, kind of an unfair situation, honestly, because I mean, he's so good at this stuff. He's such a good taxidermist and such a good businessman. Like they are absolutely killing it. And I couldn't be prouder of him. Like he's just a great guy. And we got to sit down with him and talk for a few hours. And it was just an absolute blast. And then from there, we went to the African Clinic and met up with the working class boys and, Stuart Pringle and Nathan Regal and Ethan Regal, the three Africans, I guess I would say Tres Amigos, but that's Mexican, not African. But I don't know how to say three dudes in Afrikaans, but those three guys were there, and we had so much fun. Talked about Africa, gave people a lot of good information, drank some beers. Some people drank too many beers, and just had a great time. I brought the trailer down, got to show off the trailer to quite a few different people, and it's just a great weekend. And so I got to come home, and some people got to lick their wounds. I stayed sober for the whole trip because I had to tow the trailer to and fro, and it's probably a good thing I did because I feel great. So it was just a good time. So thank you all to everyone that was able to go and participate at the African Clinic. We had an absolutely great time with each and every single one of you. I am so sorry if I don't know, I just always get nervous whenever I get around a bunch of people, especially listeners and stuff. I really want to try to give everyone the time of day. And if you feel like I did not, then I truly do apologize. Hit me up on socials and tell me I'm a fucking dick. I don't know. But I really try to give everyone the time of day. I'm not a cool guy or anything like that. I'm just a fucking dumbass like everyone else. You know what I'm saying? So, so there's that. I guess I do have something. I've kind of been using this intro as my time to kind of vent about certain things that are happening in life and in the country, the state of affairs, if you will, maybe a state of the union. I don't know what you call it, but a few things happened over the weekend, and some things have been continuing to happen across the land. So basically, what it boils down to is that Bad Bunny is just objectively bad music. So there's that, in case you guys were wondering and didn't watch the halftime show. It's just objectively bad, just really not a good musical artist. Like, he's not talented, in my opinion. So there's that. I know, obviously, millions of people like him. I don't speak Spanish or Puerto Rican or anything like that, so I didn't know what he was saying. And that doesn't even matter because Ricky Martin got his gay ass out there and belted some tunes, and he sounded great. He sounded objectively good. So I just want to throw that out there in case anyone was curious on my take on the halftime show. And also Kid Rock during the TPUSA halftime show they did on like Rumble and YouTube and shit. I don't know if it's just because I'm pissed off at everyone over there or what it is, but not great either. I'm just kind of sick of all this shit. I'm sick of everything. Like, I'm getting really frustrated with the state of affairs. Like, the NFL having Bad Bunny on was clearly like just a weird take. I don't know what they were thinking on that one, but I think they know their market and they know that people are like us. They're gonna keep watching football. Like, just because they had some dickweed from Puerto Rico on there singing a bunch of Spanish songs, that's not going to dissuade the core people that watch the NFL. Like, those people are not going to leave. They're just going to be like, okay, that halftime show sucked. Anyways, my team fucking you know, everyone's going to keep watching football, so they're not going to get that. Didn't push anyone away. So it was a safe bet. They can pretty much do whatever they want and still have the fans that they have. So that's that. Like, I'm not even mad at the NFL, and I'm also not mad at Bad Bunny. He took an opportunity and he went out there and he did his thing. Honestly, he really did. I don't like his thing, but some people do. And that's totally okay. That's totally fine. I'm just a white dude in Iowa. Like, who am I to say what's objectively good music or not? I just feel like he was objectively bad. Like, he didn't have a good voice. Anyways, that's just my take on it. But I can say, as some random white dude in fucking Iowa, I guess, the TPUSA event was not that much better. Like, Kid Rock, he's old as shit. And, you know, I don't know if he's lip syncing or what, but it seemed like maybe he was. I don't know. I'm just going to throw that out there. Maybe he was. Maybe he was. But to see like all these nerds out there, like JD Vance and all these other fucking nerds with like MAGA hats on, like just like dancing, like don't dance, like don't do that, guys. Like I don't know. Just for some reason, the whole aura about it was weird to me. But that's neither here nor there. I mean, God bless them for doing what they did. They're trying to push back against the system, and I guess that's good in its own right. I'm just giving my take on things. Take it or leave it, you know? I'm open to being wrong as well. But that's just my take. But if it feels up to me, I'd have like fucking Electric Callboy playing in the halftime show, and it'd be a hell of a good time. But I listen to a very weird niche of music, and I understand that. So it is what it is. And outside of that stuff, the Epstein files are still out. I guess our country is ran by pedophiles and freak shows. So there's that as well. I'm still of the mindset that, you know, politicians are the worst human beings in the world, and they shouldn't be running our country. But for some reason, we keep electing all these narcissistic, honestly, sadistic people into power to run our country into the dirt. It's the best country in the entire fucking world, and they are squandering their chance to make this country actually great and keep it going in the right direction. They're all squandering it. Every single fucking one of them. The only ones that I would give exception to at this time in my life would be like Thomas Massey, Rand Paul, and hell, even Ro Khanna. You know, he's been going on the Sean Ryan show and telling his take on the whole thing. At least he's going for it, you know. At least he's fucking going for it and trying to get this stuff out there and trying to do something. You know. I will give Trump and his administration a little bit of grace. Just a tiny little bit of grace, because at least they are releasing the files. And I think that's why it is like a bipartisan issue at this moment. Like, everyone on the left and the right are pissed off about this, rightfully so. And I think that it's because they knew that they could get it through with Trump. I think they knew they could get this stuff through with Trump because of what he campaigned on, and they could hold his feet to the fire for that, even if he didn't want to. They knew they could not do that with Joe Biden. He was a lame duck president, just a complete garbage face, and he sucked, and everyone knew it, and that was their chance to control him and bend him to their will. So obviously none of the Democrats and shit are gonna be like, Joe Biden, we need to release the files and, you know, topple the country and maybe the world. No one's gonna hold his fucking wrinkly ass feet to the fire like they're doing with Trump. So I will give Trump a little bit of grace on that. At least he's releasing the files, but it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. I hate them all. They all got to get out of here, and we got to replace them with someone with new people, with fresh faces in politics. You know, I think it's our time. It's our time to kind of get in there as younger individuals and kick these old sons of bitches out of there. And they have no business being in there and run this country anymore. Their time is done. Get the fuck out. It's our time. We need to keep going, and we need to be, America first and fuck everyone else. We need to fix our shit and make this country keep this country going in the right direction. It's a big boat to steer back, but I think we can do it. I'm not giving up, and neither should you guys. So that's that. That's the end of my little rant here on this. Just remember, all politicians are cunts, and you can't trust any of them. So there's that. Anyways, moving on. I don't know if this is a good segue or not to get into the Partners of Victory Drive. Maybe they don't like my take on all that stuff. Maybe Grizzly maybe Jeremy and Isaac from Grizzly and Jake Powers, maybe they're Bad Bunny fans. I don't know. I've never talked to them about it. Maybe they are. Maybe they will listen to this, or probably not. But maybe they will, and they'll be like, "Dude, what the fuck? I like Bad Bunny. That's a you take, Jake. That was a bad take." Maybe that's what they'll say. But I doubt it. Because Grizzly Coolers, they fucking rule. They are American. They are Midwestern, and they're the shit. They make great coolers, and last time I checked, none of them are supporting the suppression of the Epstein files either. So they have all this good stuff going for them. If you guys are interested in a new cooler, check out Grizzly Coolers. Use code WCB at checkout to save some money and support the network. And that's pretty much about it. I got into a lot of stuff on this intro already. I was kind of rambling, trying to get through it kind of quick because this is a really good episode I don't want you guys to miss. But yeah, if you turn it off already, sucks to suck, dude, because it's a damn good episode. If you're still here, God bless you. God bless you. I appreciate you. Thank you for listening so much. I really do appreciate it. If you really want to support the show even further, check out my Patreon. And that's that. Let's get on with it. Let's go ahead and just get right into it. Thank you.
I had a scary event about a month ago.
Did you?
Oh, fuck. It's horrible, but I survived. Like I've been doing some really deep diving into my body. Okay. So we did a bunch of studies. I'm full of arsenic.
Full of arsenic?
Yeah. And I've been on high blood pressure medicine my whole life. I mean, since I was 16 years old. Well, they're tracking this back, and they think that I was full of arsenic when I was a young man. So I think they call it something hypertension, but it's got to do with toxic metals, right? So I got on this health kick, and I was 248 pounds. Well, today I'm 176. I mean, I've lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, so you look great.
Yeah, I needed it bad. But anyhow, I had three things going on. My health coach, which is also a doctor, you're going to meet him. He's going to be at the thing today.
Okay.
They had me stop taking my blood pressure medicine because my blood pressure was coming down. And then we're doing what they call a B12 flood. So they're flooding my body with B12, and it's got cyanide in it. And the cyanide goes into my cell, whatever microcardial of my cell, allows that in there, and it grabs this arsenic, and then you just basically pee it out, right? Well, between losing the weight, and I was in huge ketosis. I got my ketosis up like 3.4. I mean, I was dropping weight crazy. Well, that's burning the arsenic off, right? So I was losing weight, burning arsenic, I was flooding arsenic, and I got off my blood pressure pill. That was a tornado for terrible. I got feeling lightheaded and bad. I went in and took my blood pressure. It was 220 over 180.
Oh, fuck.
Which is, oh, yeah.
That's not good.
No. I mean, then, my phone come up, hypertensive crisis, get to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? So I called my buddy, the doctor, and he said, absolutely no. You're going to be fine. Take a deep breath. So,
okay.
I mean, we stepped down out of that with his guy on the phone. He's got a partner. His partner's on the phone with me for 4 hours and walked me off that cliff. And I just laid down, deep breathed. Finally, I got into a warm bathtub with Epsom salts, and the whole time taking my blood pressure every 15 minutes. And that finally got down to 150 over like
shit.
90. Yeah. So that spiked, and we couldn't figure out why it was spiking. That spiked on me 3 days in a row. 3 days in a row. Midday, I went up to over 200. So, and of course, my brain just wants to go to the hospital, because that's what we've been trained our whole life. And these guys are like, hospitals are great. And my buddy's, he's an ER doctor at a big hospital. He's like, no, he said, you're okay. Take a deep breath. You're not going to stroke. We've done a full workup. You don't have any blockage. You did your cardiac CAS score or cardiac calcium score. It's 33. It's good. He said, this flood of this arsenic is what's causing this blood pressure rise.
Whoa.
So then they looked again at my hair samples, and they found out that I was really low on electrolytes. Bad. So you see me, I just drank that big jug of electrolytes. Now I'm drinking 2 or 3 big jugs, and my blood pressure just normalized.
Really?
Just normal. So it was electrolytes the whole time. The electrolytes, and then I quit. I got out of ketosis. I started eating a little bit again.
Yep.
And I quit the B12 flood for a while. The normal person takes 1,000 milligrams of B12 a day. I'm taking 25,000.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because I think we take just vitamins, pill vitamins or whatever. And I think our B12, that pill that we're taking, is like pretty potent. Like it's pretty stout, but I think that's like right around 1,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
yeah, the normal
25,000.
I take 25,000 B12.
Was it in pill form or were you
no? It is. It's a little. It looks. It's red and it's just small like a Tic Tac, and you put it underneath your tongue.
Oh,
well, then it dissolves and gets right into your system versus swallowing it. It has to go through your guts and stuff. And then we found out, I had like leaky gut and just all kind of crazy, stupid shit. I'm 62. I'll be 62. So I started, I want to be healthy my last quarter.
Yeah.
Is my goal.
Right.
Actually, I wrote a book. It's 20, 40, 60, 80, maybe, talking about fourth quarter health and fitness. The average man in the United States now dies at like 76 years old, 77, depending on what study you look at. So I know I'm in my last quarter, right? So my dad's 89. You don't know.
Yeah.
My brother died at 65 or 6. I mean, you don't know.
No. No. I mean, but when death starts knocking at your door, you don't ever know when it's going to happen. So it can happen at any time. But yeah, when you start getting into your
you think 60s, about it
70s, 80s, it gets a little bit more.
You think about it.
Yeah.
You look at the hourglass, you tip that thing over, and you got the sands of time coming through, and I'm in my last quarter of my sands of time. Well, I want to get it over time. I want to be my dad's age. I want that. And I never worried about being healthy before. And my doctor buddy, he's my age, ripped. I'm talking, looks like he's 25, and he's a big anti-aging guy. Got a young lady that's his girlfriend. I mean, he's living life to the fullest, right? And he said, Sam, he actually showed up in here 2 years ago. And that's when I was having all that knee issue. And I was, on a cane and all bent over and hunched up and having all kind of hard time. And he says, what's wrong with you? I said, I don't know. I said, my knees are bad. So he told me at that time, he said, lose some weight. So I started losing weight actually 2 years ago, but then he came in about a year later and I'm still all hunched up. And he says, we got to look this thing over. And he said, to be a good 70-year-old, you had to have been a good 40-year-old. Well, I miss that boat.
Yeah, I can't go back and change that now.
No, asshole. I missed that boat. I was a good 50-year-old, and I hit 60, and I'm like, I can't walk. My back hurts, and I'm raising grandchildren, and I take them hunting, and I can't get off the ground, and shit, dude. Now I can do jumping jacks. I mean, it's really transformed my body, and
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, is your doctor buddy? Is he obviously he takes his own health very seriously, but is he like a holistic holistic guy? Like he wants to do all like everything else before he starts like
he talks a lot about Western medicine and sick care versus health care.
Right.
And he said there is an absolute place for going to the hospital, and there's an absolute place to go to your medical doctor. And like he said, he's a triple board certified medical doctor that's seen 80,000 people. I mean, he's the real deal. He's a doctor. He said, we're good people, but we're handicapped. You know, we have to do what our bosses tell, and there's a protocol.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they thought I had a stroke earlier this year. I had strokes 2 years ago, mini strokes.
Jeez.
Well, they thought that this year I did a brisk walk, and I got back to my vehicle with Linda, and I couldn't raise my arms. And I got in the truck, and she got in her vehicle and drove away. Well, I called her, and I said, you need to come back and get me. I said, something's wrong. So she come back, and I able to get out of my truck, get in her, and I said, you need to get me to the hospital. I said, something's going on. Well, they run me to Burlington, took me in. Well, they automatically threw me in the heart attack stroke box, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so now they're doing all this workup. You know, they're scanning my brain, they're doing everything, and they're not finding anything wrong with me. I mean, they're just not, you know. And the whole time, you know, she's calling Toby, my doctor buddy, and he's like, he didn't have a stroke and he didn't have a heart attack. He's not having any symptoms like that. He said, we got to figure this out. Well, that's when we did blood work, hair analysis, urine, swab the mouth. I mean, we did it all. And he's got, I don't know where he sends it, but we send it off somewhere, and then we get all this reports back. Well, what ended up going on is with the arsenic in my cells, and he explains this, and I'm stupid, so I'm going to explain in layman's terms. When you put $1 in your cell, it should give you $30 worth of energy, $1 of oxygen. Okay. So when I put my $1 of oxygen in my cell, I get 3 or 4% energy back. So I get 30%, because I get 30 cents of energy, not $1. So when I was on that brisk walk, I literally ran myself out of energy where I couldn't lift my arms and couldn't talk.
Shit, really?
Stuff. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So then, you know, and
that's because you saying that's because of the arsenic and stuff?
It's the arsenic. I got really great genetics, and I got good cells. But I got this, they call it we can cuss on this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
We call it the motherfucker gene. It's MTHFR, something like that. And it affects the microcardium around the cell. So, you know, your stuff can't come in and out of your trillions of cells like it needs to. And again, I'm stupid, so I'm talking dumb here.
Right. Yeah, well, that's good because I'm dumb as fuck too.
But this is all fucked up, basically. And one of the fucked up things was I put my dollars worth of oxygen in where I should get $100 worth of oxygen. Now I'm only getting 30. So I'm getting, 30% of the oxygen. So it's just not working. So now that B12 flood with the cyanide gets through that.
That's crazy because cyanide's, that's toxic too.
It kill you.
That's what the Nazis did. They all had they had fake cyanide tablets in their teeth, so they get captured to bite it and die.
And it's not
arsenic's also bad. So
and it's not called it's cyanoblinumlium or something like that. It's Gary Brecka, who's another health guru.
Oh yeah,
he's like, don't take that. That's going to kill you. And Toby's like, it takes so many zillion of this to that. He said, you're not getting a legal dose.
Well, I got a fucking bone to pick with Gary Brecka anyway. So
yeah. Good.
Well, we thought about doing his little protocol deal, spitting the vial and shit. Well, yeah, that genetic test. You spit in a vial and shit and send it in to him. And we did that, and then we did it and then sent it in, and it was inconclusive. So did it again, and then inconclusive. And and we waited a little long, and we're like, fuck this. I don't think it's going to work. So we had to get our money back because it has money back guarantee kind of deal. Yeah. And they were not very fucking easy to work with about getting your money back. They really did not want to send that money back, but we eventually got it back, right? Yeah. So I'm also not the finance guy in my household. My wife is, but I was like, damn it, Gary.
So Toby,
you talk a big game, dude, but then
so Toby's going to be at the clinic today, so I'll introduce you.
Okay.
He has uheal.com, and it's the same kind of a protocol, but at least he lives right here in Keokuk, Iowa.
Yeah.
You can come down and choke him to death. You don't get,
right.
Don't come out.
No, to send it to fucking California or wherever Gary's at, wherever he's located, I don't know. But yeah, just came back and it was not working. Screw this. We'll just figure it out or something. We don't need that, I guess. But Gary's
good. I think his intentions are good, but I think there becomes a point when it's a marketing thing.
I think he's a very good marketer.
He's a wonderful marketer.
Very good. He's very well spoken, very smart.
He is.
He
reminds me of Obama.
Oh yeah, right.
Just smooth,
Very smooth talker. He could probably sell a snow cone to an Eskimo, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure it's not. I don't think he's lying.
No,
I don't
he's
know.
not.
But at the same time, like I think
not.
he's maybe.
What I like about Toby versus Gary, Toby's a doctor. Gary's not.
Gary's not. No, you're absolutely right.
He's a marketing guru.
Yep.
I'm not telling you he's smart. I think he's brilliant.
Yep.
But he's
not an MD.
He's not my guy.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No, and local. That always makes things easier to work with when you have a guy that you know and trust and everything else. Like health is a very interesting thing because like you were saying earlier, like Western medicine, like in America and stuff like that, we're very good at treating symptoms.
Yeah.
And like picking apart each symptom.
100%.
We're not very good at putting it all together and figuring out why.
Yep.
We're good at being like, oh, you have this, here's this. Oh, now you have this, here's that.
Yep.
But we're not very good at being like, well, let's like zoom out and figure out why you're having these symptoms.
And that's what Toby says. Toby says, you've had this high blood pressure your whole life. You've been on 3 blood pressure pills your whole life, right? He said, has anybody ever told you why you got high blood pressure? No. He said, we're going to find out why. And then we're going to fix why, and we're going to get you off them blood pressure pills.
Yeah, because I'm of the mindset, it's like the less pills you have to take to function, the better. Like if it's a diet change or, a behavior change or something like that, it's like, I'd rather do that stuff first before I start going like taking all these different medications and everything else. Because each medication you take, no matter how safe it is or how many times it's been tested, they all have side effects.
They all do.
So it's like, you start taking them and it's just like, then it turns into like a cascading fountain of medication because then you take this one medication to fix this. And then this starts this symptom that you have to take more medication for to fight that.
Yeah.
So then you're trying to take other medication to counteract the side effects of their medication until you're, taking, 25 pills a day just to
like me,
feel all right.
I've took a statin drug for my cholesterol for years, right? And my cholesterol's good, and Toby said, the research shows that statin drug, you could end up with dementia. I'm already dumb as fuck.
Yeah, like
I can't imagine being any dumber than I am now, right?
Yeah.
So then we did.
You're not starting like you're a genius and you don't have a whole lot to lose.
No.
Like I'm the same boat.
Yeah,
I can't lose that.
Afford to be any stupider, right? So he told, and I've researched because what he tells me, I still research on my own, because I just kind of want to know before I do anything stupid that I all the time growing up, don't eat salt, don't fry stuff.
Yep.
Don't eat red meat.
Yeah,
right?
red meat bad.
Red meat bad.
Yolk, too many yolks.
Don't eat yolk.
Don't eat yolks.
Well, now it's eat red meat, salt the shit out of it with Redmond's real salt. It's non-refined salt. Salt the shit out. I mean, when I was having this hypertensive crisis, they were having me put Redmond's real salt under my tongue to bring my, in my whole life, that was no.
Yeah, salt's not great.
So I'm digging into this, and this cholesterol. And Toby says, again, I'm stupid, so he could talk way better than I can about it. He said, cholesterol is the LDL is there at the scene of the crime when you have a heart attack. It is there. But he said, it's actually the fire truck that's there trying to fix the problem. It's not the problem. Well, then I started researching this, right? And there's a lot of cardiologists saying the same thing. No, you need this LDL cholesterol. You need it for your brain.
Yeah.
You need it, for this and that. So now I'm eating butter. Yeah. Not eating it, but I made us breakfast. I made us breakfast today. Them eggs are fried in butter. My dirty eggs, I fry them in butter and whatever I cook my meat in.
Yep.
And that antelope, was that good?
Oh, it was fucking good. That was really good. That was
stuff,
awesome. Yeah, but we do the same stuff. Like we use real butter, not margarine.
Yep.
Real butter. And we use a lot of it. I mean, we go through a lot of butter.
Yeah.
And it's like, we didn't do a whole lot of research on it, but we're just thinking like, it can't be like that bad for you. It's got to be better than, like canola oil and margarine. It's like, it's real. It comes from an actual natural source. So it's like, it can't be like that bad for you. So
in my book, I talk a lot about, the thing that's there's 2 things killing us as a society. Sugar. Sugar's like right up there on top.
That's not good.
And them seed oils. All that refined shit. So which is worse? Well, would you drink a gallon of gasoline or would you drink a gallon of Clorox? You wouldn't drink either one, right? So I have worked hard to diligently try to cut all sugars out of my life, and I won't have a seed oil. Nothing processed. Today for meals, I eat red meat, I either do grass-fed beef, a lot of venison. You can have all the venison you want. It's lean. I get regular farm-raised chickens. I don't buy chicken at the grocery store. Today, the potatoes that I made, that was the first carbohydrate that I've had in my body now for 5-6 months.
Really?
Because that potato turns right into sugar.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But then again, it's like it's a simple carb rather than a complex carb. Like sugar is complex.
Yes.
And it digests completely different.
Way different.
Breaks down, your body breaks it down into and it uses it similarly as sugar, but it's not fucking white sugar,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But like my favorite thing to eat is Pop-Tart.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah.
Cinnamon Pop-Tarts is my deal.
Hot fudge ones put in the freezer. And it's like a little kind of like ice cream.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to eat ice cream every night. I mean, now I just eat meat and beans.
What kind of the green beans?
Green beans.
Okay.
Yep. I buy organic green beans. I saute them in olive oil and butter and put a little Redmond's real salt on them. And fuck, dude, they eat.
Redmond's real salt. Where do you get that from?
Any grocery store. I think Redmond's, they're out of Utah, I believe. I'm not sure. But it's just straight mined salt. It's got all the minerals.
Okay. Because she just bought some Celtic sea salt.
Celtic's good too.
She's like, this is supposed to be awesome salt.
It is good. It's from the Celtic region.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It is kind of weird too because like iodized salt is like not the greatest.
That's the devil.
That's not good. But just like anything else, it's easy to make and it's plentiful. So sell that shit by the pound, kind of deal.
Yeah,
but I actually like organically mined salt is like that's salt. Like that's the salt that they use like back in the day when they were talking like salted beef and they'd kill game and they'd salt it and like preserve it.
Yep.
That's the kind of salt they were using. They weren't using iodized fucking salt.
Well, just talking about back in the day, and I write about this in my book. If you watch them old black and white shows like Wonderful Life or whatever that is, that Christmas, that's the one I like. There ain't a fat person in there.
No.
It wasn't until Cheerios come out we got fat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, actually, did you know that Kellogg, that I can't remember his first name, but Kellogg was a real person that invented like cereal and shit, right?
Yeah.
He was what did they call him? A Quaker. I think he's a Quaker, right? Or like a Puritan kind of thing. Yeah. So he was super anti-masturbating, right? Like he was like, we got to get these hands off their dicks. So like we're gonna come out. So he made cereal and he figured if he pumped it full of sugar, it would lower their sex drive enough where they'd quit masturbating.
Wow.
So that's where cereal kind of came from.
Never worked for me.
No, me either. It didn't work for anybody, but it made him a lot of money. Because it turns out it's like highly addictive for children because it's full of sugar and like this rules.
It's all masturbation.
Yeah, and then they put it on there and like, oh, this much fiber, it's good for you. And they're like, oh yeah, he's trying to stop kids from masturbating, and turns out it just turned them into fat. And addicted to sugar.
I think you're pretty smart.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
I
didn't know about no masturbation.
Yeah, I have good recall on stupid shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up eating a lot of cereal.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go any further than that. But, but yeah, no, I mean, it's true. Like back in the day, before they're eating like cereal, like sugar for breakfast and lunch and dinner and everything else and all that stuff. Like they were eating pretty well. Like my grandpa and stuff. Like, I mean, that's all they ate was like my dad was telling us a story when he was a kid. He had cereal, I guess, but he would have cream, put like actual cream in his cereal and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they grew up on, like full cream and like, milk that they got from their cow and whatnot and all that. So it's like there were a lot more. And like farmers back then too, they were a lot more well-rounded farming. Like my grandpa did some row crop, but he took that row crop and turned it into feed for his cattle and his livestock and stuff. Yeah. So he would row crop, but he'd also livestock farm, and that's how they made a living and everything. I mean, nowadays it's just like row crop after row crop after row crop. Like farmers are either row crop farmers or they're either row crop guys or they're livestock guys. Yeah. And some livestock guys still do their own row cropping and whatnot. But I mean, it's not like it used to be where it's like each farmer basically had to, broaden their horizons and get into other things. They couldn't just row crop farm and have a life.
I think meat was way healthier then because they weren't spraying Roundup and they weren't doing this and they weren't doing that. I don't think. Maybe they were. I don't know.
I don't know when that all started, but you got to think like that's not like the greatest to have in your groundwater.
No.
And I don't know. I'm not a scientist like you. I'm dumb as fuck, and I don't know all that science. But it's like common sense would kind of say that spraying herbicides and pesticides constantly throughout the summer
it's a bad deal.
Up your yields, and you're genetically modifying. And I don't think GMO corn actually is proven to be bad, but at the same time, it's like I don't know what they're doing to it. Like a lot of these seeds have like dyes and stuff in them. I don't know. I don't know
either. But I just try to eat as clean.
Yeah,
like our water, we've got a vapor purifier, so we purify all of our water. I mean, and we got rural water here. I mean, it's Rathbun water, and I have to have it tested. We have a meat processing business, and we're state certified, so I have to have my water tested, and it tests fine, but I won't put it in my mouth without it going through that. Just so we've even went as far, and this might be all lunatic, maybe because I am a little bit of lunatic, but I mean, we changed out all our deodorants and our hair products, and there's an app, I think it's called Yucca or something like that.
We got that.
You can scan that stuff.
That's fucking sweet.
Yeah.
I like that.
So if it don't score 90 or above, we don't buy it.
Yeah. I mean, it's made by some yuppies in California, but at the same time, like, it rules.
Yeah.
It's pretty accurate because we do the same thing. We started scanning shit in our got Charlie in on it. Like, she's going around like scanning stuff like, what do you think this scans at? And she's like, oh, that's a 1.
Yeah.
And there's like a box of, it'd be like, what did we scan that was like super surprising? Like how bad it was. That's not good. Yeah. But like crackers were fucking 1. Yeah. It's like not good.
Yeah. If it ain't good, we don't use it anymore. So I don't know. I think some of them hippies are probably going to keep us alive long.
Well, and that's like I talk about this. I've said this before too. Like as far as politics goes, like we need people on the right, we need people on the left. Like it keeps everyone kind of in the middle and makes sense of things. Like we can't all if the whole country was Republican, it wouldn't be good. Right. And if the whole country was Democrats, it wouldn't be good either. Yeah. We need that ebb and flow, that yin and yang. Just like we need us meat eaters need some vegan yuppies sometimes to keep us on the right track. Like, hey, you guys are kind of overdoing it here. Yeah. Like eating like processed meat. It's like eating Spam isn't good just because it's meat isn't good. Right. So it's like keeping us kind of honest as well. Like there's a place for them. Yeah. They aren't all stupid.
No. Oh no.
So
and you're 100% right. And I don't talk a lot about politics. I'm not a Republican.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely not a Democrat.
Yeah.
But
I'm not either.
I see myself as a conservative independent.
Mm-hmm.
I want a strong border,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't want to kill babies.
Yeah.
I don't want to fund it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But I lean Republican. I'll always vote Republican because of my beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
I will never vote I'm not left at all. But I'm not far right either.
Right. Yeah. Like we need that though. Like we need people in the middle. And there's gotten to be some like the Graham Plattner in Maine, I believe. He doesn't seem too bad. He's a Democrat. He's running for Senate, I think.
Yeah.
And he doesn't seem too bad. He's like pro-gun. He's like I guess they'd call him like
I'm very pro-gun.
Yeah, me too. That's what this whole podcast is all about generally. Yeah. We're talking a lot about health and on this, but like my political stance has always been, all politicians are cunts, and
they all
just if you go in with that mindset of just thinking that, then you'll be okay. I think it's kind of the way to look at it. Like Trump has his pros and he has a lot of fucking cons. Like he's not doing a lot of
Trump. Just shut his mouth. It'd be wonderful.
It would be
just go do
much better.
Go do the job you're doing because it's a good job.
Yeah,
just shut the fuck up.
But he can't shut the fuck up. He's too egotistical for that.
Yeah.
But they all are. He's just outwardly honest about it. I do appreciate his honesty, but it's like, damn, dude, maybe you should be a little bit.
Yeah, I don't even know all of it.
Just tie it back a little bit, but. Yeah. But the thing with Obama, like you said, he was a great speaker, and he did some good things, and he was super strong on the border.
Yeah,
that's one good thing he had going for him. It's like we need that though, back and forth to keep this country going straight. We need that back and forth, that ebb and the flow, and everything else is kind of the way it is. But
I didn't really pay a lot of attention to the Obama years. I'm not political, honestly, but I don't remember what he did good or what he did bad. All I can remember is that some bitch knew how to talk.
He knew how to talk. I was in the Army during the whole Obama years. I joined the Army during the election, so then Obama got elected and I was in, for those 8 years. And honestly, his first term wasn't bad. It was the second term that I'm like, this motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
That's when they repealed Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and they repealed, and they started letting, openly, gays be open in the military, which, you can have your argument about that. And then they started allowing women in combat arms, and I've already said my piece about all that. And it's like, like that's when I'm looking at, I'm like, I'm not going to stick around for this. Like, I need to just go back home and go back to small town Iowa and, sell down a little bit, but
live our lives.
Yeah. I don't know, but it is what it is. Politics is it's a hot button. It is.
It's a mess right now.
And what sucks is it's like it's in everybody's lives. Like the federal government's, for one, just gotten too big. And it's in everybody's everyday life. The federal government shouldn't be in your everyday life. You should really only worry about local politics and state politics. And then outside of that, like, you shouldn't really have to worry about what the feds are doing too much. They should just do their job and protect the country and call our night. But they
keep us all alive.
Been overstepping for so long where it's like, now it's just everywhere. And then honestly, now it's like a game.
Yeah.
I don't like that at all, but whatever. Anyways, you're actually a taxidermist, not a not a doctor or a politician.
No, and, I'm a dumb old taxidermist.
So, you were showing us around earlier today, and you gave us a whole tour of, like, the taxidermy shop and where you guys make the G2 forms and everything else.
Yeah.
I guess because you were also telling us, like, you did the construction stuff before.
I did. I was a phone guy.
Yeah.
For 35 years. Before that, I was a gas guy. I did gas lines for a bunch of years. So, yeah, I did construction. My dad started the construction in like 1976. And I took it over in like 1992, I think, like somewhere like that. And then in 2009, I had signed a huge contract. I mean, huge. It was a $250 million 5-year deal.
Holy shit.
With a big phone company that I'd worked for years as their general contractor. I had all of Iowa and all of Nebraska, and I signed up for the whole state of New Mexico. So we went down there and I opened up 5 branches, staffed it from backhoes to pencils, all with my own money for the most part. We signed that contract, I think it was June of 2009 to be shovel ready January of 10. It went off no hitches. Life was good. And June of 10, I'm driving down the road going to Burlington. And my old Toyota, you see my old Toyota truck?
Love that truck, by the way.
I think it's sick. I do too. And I was listening to the local radio station. I heard that company got bought by another company. I nearly wrecked my freaking truck. No. So I called up procurement, and they were in Denver, and I'd worked with them guys for years. And I said, why didn't you tell me? We ran a gag order. We couldn't tell you. So you got to be shitting me.
Oh, my gosh.
And they said, your contract's good. It's good. Well, my contract was good, and it was ironclad good. But it was all time and material, right? You had to look at history to predict the future. So historically, if you set something right here and you got paid $10 a piece and you did it 10 times a day, that's worth $100 historically. Well, at any time, they could say, we're not going to set that there. Okay? They could do that. But the only reason we set that there was because it had to happen. There was something wrong. We were chasing, bad phone lines. It wasn't like we were doing that for no purpose. Well, long story short, they shut their budget down to make their balance sheet healthier through this merger, so their stockholders got more money through the merger, right? So that was the start of the storm. And then to add insult to injury, everybody I'd worked with for all those years took their golden parachute and retired. So they left me a bunch of engineers that couldn't get work out, couldn't approve work. Well, I literally went from invoicing on a little over $1 million a week to $80,000, and it happened in a 6-week period.
Holy shit!
Well, I know you remember what was going on in that era, all that housing stuff, right?
Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
Well, I kept locally. I had 5 banks and a very large line of credit. One of them little banks was failing. He bought a bunch of bad notes on the East Coast, with that housing thing. Well, I brought them all in, thinking, this is the gig, guys. You're going to have to help me get through this merger. I've already talked to the new company that still has to set that there, even though they're not. So there's going to be, 10 times the work. It's going to be good, but I got to get through this. Well, that evening, he called my line of credit.
Oh, no.
And literally took me from being hugely successful to broke.
No shit.
They broke me.
Just like that.
They broke me overnight.
Oh, fuck.
So at that
I
point,
can't even imagine that.
oh,
Like,
at that point, and I'm just married a year at that point. Me and
Mhm.
Linda just got married.
oh no.
Yeah. So
Like,
we sat back and
sorry, honey, I had all these promises and stuff.
yes,
And,
yeah,
oh,
it was devastating.
jeez.
So we sat back. We went through some really dark times. I mean, it was really dark. And I've always been a businessman. I've always been an entrepreneur. And I had a local, very wealthy businessman call me. He said, "What happened?" And I told him. And he said, "Well, I know you're not a crook and I know you're not a scoundrel." He said, "Let's build a local business." So I built him. I did a 3-year out thing with him. I built him a local business here doing the same thing I was doing, just on a smaller scale.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the middle of that, I had a company in Cedar Rapids get a hold of me. And so I went up there and I helped build 2 businesses up there. One was putting up cell towers and one was taking down cell towers.
Mm.
So I made some pretty good money for 3 years, and that gave me the seed money to start this, more or less. So, and I'd always been into taxidermy through another life and another wife. My ex-wife was the taxidermist. We had a big sporting goods store, and she was quite good. And so I'd been involved in it my whole life.
Mhm.
I'd owned a shop or been involved in it, but I had never factually done it. And I just called one of our buddies and said, "Can you walk me through this?" And he took me through the first deer head, and he says, "Well, shit, you got this." Well, I'd seen it thousands of times. I just had never done it.
Yeah.
So I come home to Linda and I said, "We're going to start a taxidermy firm." She says, "We'll never make a living at it." I said, "Watch me." So here we go.
No shit.
Yep, here we go.
So from that point, like, you never mounting a deer or turkey before,
Yeah.
and then getting to where you're at now, it's like, I mean, like, how during that early stage, were you like still working and then like doing taxidermy on the side kind of thing, and like kind of getting it down?
I was building those businesses because
Yep.
I did it through that 3-year course.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
yeah, I started out with just deer heads and then just kind of morphed on from there. So
Mhm.
we take a 5-minute break.
Sure.
Eh.
Anyways, so you just want to turn that a little bit towards you. There you go. This doesn't do very well when it's like pointed away from you, but
Perfect.
yeah. All right. So you were learning how to do taxidermy.
Yeah. Like I said, I had a really close friend of mine that lived up in Michigan, and he actually had went to school with my ex-wife at Matuska Taxidermy School.
Hey, that's in Spirit Lake.
Spirit Lake.
That's where my buddy met one.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful school.
Yeah.
Just wonderful. But I called my buddy and I said, "Hey, if I bring up a deer head or two, will you walk me through it?" And I said, I got up there and he's like, "You got this, man." Well, I had seen it, but I had never done it. Right.
Mhm.
So from that point, I did a lot of continuing education. I went to like Joe Meter up there in Solon.
Yep, I've heard about him.
Yeah,
from Matt.
Joe's a tremendous guy. I studied under another world champion up in Wisconsin. Just took these little mini courses, and again, we had a really successful taxidermy firm before our divorce,
Mhm.
and so I knew what a good animal would look like,
Mhm.
and then I had went to all the state shows, the competitions and stuff as the husband to the taxidermist, but I
Sure.
was still in the room listening to the seminars,
Mhm.
listening to the critiques the judges gave. So, I kind of had a leg up that
Mhm.
direction, and I had a leg up also because of that experience. I knew the right people to get a hold of to advance my skill levels.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So I just leaned on everybody and kind of went from there. So been about maybe
And real quick, how old were you when you decided to make this venture?
This was in 10.
10.
So
It's 25 now.
What was
So that's
that?
15 years ago.
15 years ago. So I'd
Yeah.
been late 40s.
See that? I love hearing that because I'm 34.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where, like, in my town, it's a very small town, conservative town, where it's like you don't find a good job.
Yeah.
You put in your time and you retire, and you just be grateful for what you got, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I love hearing stories from people that just changed their life.
Yeah.
No matter, even if you're in your mid 30s or 40s or something like that, it's like it's not too late to make that change and bet on yourself and be like, we can do this.
Yeah.
We can do something
Yeah.
different.
When I went through those dark times, it got really dark.
Mhm.
I went from being, I owned, with my construction, I had like 280 guys, right? I had 14 offices across 3 states.
Mhm.
Well, I had 280 vehicles. So, I might as well be buying trucks for myself, right?
Yeah.
So I started a car lot. Well, then you got 280 guys wrecking 280 vehicles. Well, I might as well own a body shop, right? So
Okay.
I started a body shop. Well, then we poured a lot of concrete for like the telephone company because you'd have to take up a bunch of sidewalk and, build all them huts and stuff you see everywhere. Well, I might as well own a concrete company. So we started pouring concrete. Well, now we're doing basements. Well, hell, I need to own a company that builds houses. So I got involved with building houses. So I've always had that drive just to go like that.
Yep.
But then when I took that fall from society, I was businessman of the year like 4 years in a row down here. I had my own column in the back of the Underground magazine. It was called The Final Word. I wrote about business and stuff. I went from being successful to literally being a four-eyed demon broke overnight.
Yeah.
I mean, overnight. When this thing got settled out, I had my truck, my house, and a huge debt to the IRS that wouldn't go away.
Oh, fuck.
So, and I had 10 years to pay that back.
That's not something you want to be indebted to either.
No, because that don't go. They don't
stop.
No. I had good experience with them, but I was square with them. And I paid it back.
Yeah, as long as you're honestly trying, I think it's all right. They have some grace, but at the end of the day, like that grace, once that grace wears thin, like there's like okay.
If I'd have been a crook, I probably would have squirmed about it.
Sure.
But, I'd been when they showed up, I said, I don't owe this. I don't believe, but I understand. I was the owner of the company, and I wasn't even there the last year. Once they call your line of credit, right? You go into a receivership automatically. Well, then you lose all control. And there's like $600 an hour lawyers over top of you.
Yeah.
Well, then you find something you don't like, and if you balk, then they fire you. So they fire you from your own company, but you still own majority stock of that company, right? So then 6-8 months, a year later, when it all boils out and the IRS don't get paid, it went on your watch, but you own the company.
Yeah.
So they finger you for the money.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
Crazy.
I mean, and at that point, I was dead broke because I had nothing, and I didn't even hire an attorney. I just dealt with it personally. They showed up at my door, and I said, "No, I don't think I owe it." And the guy looked at me and he said, "Well, I was there, and I'm not going to disagree with you, but you got fingered for it, and I got to collect it.
Yep.
So this is what we're going to do."
Yep.
So I just made a payment schedule, and October 2022 is paid for.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's like that was not that long ago.
Not that long ago.
Damn. All right.
Not that long ago.
Damn. So you undertook, starting Old Barn Taxidermy.
Yeah.
While being in debt to the IRS.
Yeah.
Not making any money, presumably doing taxidermy yet.
Nope.
So to keep that, to hold on to that belief in yourself for that long and just having the faith that eventually it'll turn out.
Yeah.
For one, that takes some cojones.
Well,
that's pretty wild, and it takes a lot of support from your wife.
Yeah,
like Linda.
My wife's the rock star of this whole thing. I mean, she stayed with me through thick and thin. I mean, it was amazing.
She's a damn good woman.
Well, with running the big companies and even all these little companies I had, we did a lot of forecasting, a lot of projections, and we just took off with this taxidermy business in the same direction. I mean, we would forecast what we could do, and we would project the income. When I seen that I didn't think that it was going to generate enough money, I actually started a tannery, and that took off. I mean, that went from 0 to 100 mile an hour just in 2 years. I mean, it went crazy, and that's a very needed entity.
So there's not a whole lot of tanneries around, is there?
There's not. A few big ones, a few small ones, but not enough for the industry. I mean, it's definitely a choke point in our industry. It's something that causes a lot of grief, and it's the worst part of our industry. I mean, it's literally you're taking a decaying hide. The minute the trigger gets pulled or the arrow flies, and that animal quits breathing, it's decaying. Well, then you don't know what happened with the hunter. You don't know. For example, a couple years ago, I had one of the Eric's was from the working class bowhunter. It was just shedding. It wasn't slipping, but it was just you put your hands on it and you had hair on it. I called Eric up and I said, "Hey, tell me about this deer." He said, "Well, that's that one that laid in water overnight and we didn't find it till the next day." Well, I had heard that on the podcast, but I forgot it. You know what I'm saying? But in a peak of our tanning, and I don't have it anymore. My oldest son runs it now. In the peak of that, we were doing 15,000 deer capes a year.
That's fucking insane.
15,000. Okay.
That's a lot of damn deer.
Well, you don't know how many ones that laid out overnight. You don't know what was gut shot. You don't know if it was 100 degrees when they shot it. Well, then when they slip, when the hair falls off of them, it's automatically the tannery's fault.
Just going to
automatically.
that,
I mean, that's the first thing the taxidermist. So
what the fuck are you doing?
It's just brutal.
Mm-hmm.
It's brutal. And my go back to that. When I was operating it, you'd have Joe's Taxidermy call and he'd be mad because he sent you 20 capes of 10 of them are slipping. I say, Joe, I mount 400 of them a year in my shop and we don't have 5 bad ones. When we handle it from beginning to the end, we don't have 5 bad ones. So you tell me. Well, then you get talked to him and, well, they were at the locker. Well, lockers don't treat capes like they needed to treat them. I mean, there's so many variables out of our control. But anyhow, it's the hardest part of our industry. Tanning, but there's good money in it.
Yeah, I bet there is
huge money.
Yeah, it's because it's such a big hole.
Yeah.
So, just since we're on the subject, I guess, if you're a hunter, how are you supposed to treat a cape? Get it frozen as fast as possible.
As fast as possible.
Okay.
As fast as possible. Like for us, we have this wild game meat processing. When you bring your buck in and you want to get it processed and mounted, you go in front of the whole line of things that get skinned and taken care of.
So you can get the cape off.
We don't hang that for 4 or 5 days while you're getting the other 200 worked out in front of you. Bucks always go first. Not everybody has the luxury to have the coolers and whatnot. So I tell them, get it in the shade, get it in a cool garage, get it hung up, try to get to it the next day at least, maybe 2 at the max. As soon as you get it off, get it in.
Moisture's not good.
Moisture's not good. Moisture just bacteria.
It's funny because I fucked up pretty bad then with my pronghorn. Thank God that thing didn't slip. But when I brought it to you guys, I came back from New Mexico and I shot that pronghorn and I, got it all caped out and stuff like that, put in the cooler with ice and is in a game bag. And I'm like, it's cold enough. I figure we're good.
Yeah.
Took it back home. I checked it like the day after I got it back home and the ice had melted. So it was sitting in water.
Liquid.
And I'm like, well, there's still some ice in it. So it's still plenty cold. We're good. And I was talking to my buddy Matt. That's does taxidermy, and I was talking to him about it, and he's like, oh, okay, cool. He's like, so you have your cape frozen already? I'm like, I don't know, it's in the cooler still. He's like, well, how long has it been there? I'm like, I don't know, probably I killed it this day. It's, I don't know, probably like 3 or 4 days. And I was like, Jake, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, I think it's fine. It's cool. He's like, dude, you have to get that thing frozen. I'm like, what? What do you mean? Like, oh my gosh, like, how bad is this? He's like, I bet you it's slipping. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. So I fucking got it and I threw it in a bag and I froze it. I'm just like, I froze it right away. He's like, it's probably already fucked, but we don't know. So I brought it down here to get it tanned and he ended up mounting it. But
did it slip?
No. Surprisingly, it didn't. I got very lucky.
You're lucky.
And because I was waiting for a phone call from you guys to be like, dude, that's done. And it's like, where do I find a pronghorn cape? Like, we live in Iowa, I have to figure out something, put it out on Facebook. I don't know. Yeah. But I was very lucky. Very lucky. That was an ignorant point on my part. That's why I want to ask about that. Because there's a lot of hunters out there that listen that probably just don't. They're like, oh, it's cool enough. Like, we're good. And water, I didn't really think nothing too much of it.
No water. Water's the devil.
Yeah. And I think pronghorn are kind of prone to slipping.
Pronghorn will slip if you sneeze on them.
Yeah. So I got super lucky with that thing.
I'll do everything right and my pronghorn will slip. And I'm the guy shooting them. I'm the guy caping it. And I'm the guy getting it salt. I mean, I salt them right there in the field, and every now and then they slip. It's just, and they're brutal here in Iowa because, just like you said, these hunters, they kill them out there. They go in a cooler. By the time they drive home, by the time they dick around and get it to me, I mean, I must say 75% of them are junk.
Really?
I have an outsource for them. I got a buddy that owns a wild game processing in Lusk, Wyoming.
Oh, okay.
So I have 50 in stock all the time.
Gotcha.
And we just price them with an extra cape.
Just
because I know I'm going to have to put a replacement.
Who knows? Maybe
we're square with people.
Yeah. Okay. I was saying, like, maybe you guys just didn't even tell me. Maybe you just replaced it. But then after looking, I'm like, no, that's definitely him because he had specific markings on his cape that were. I shot him right in the neck, essentially. Like, he's fully frontal, so you can actually see like it seared a lot of the fur, and Matt patched it up, but you can still kind of see where it was at. And like, that's kind of cool though. For me personally, like, that's where I hit him.
Tells a story.
Yeah, it does. But I was just curious about that. Yeah, because I was ignorant. I didn't really know that. I knew you were supposed to get them cold as cold as possible, as fast as possible. I didn't really think.
I tell everybody, today you can go to Huffman's or any farm store and get them little freezers, And now you got them little battery banks. Like we carry a couple of them with us, and then we have a small generator.
Yep.
And the minute we get anything bear hunting or whatever, we get that right in that freezer.
Yeah.
And it's inexpensive.
Yeah. Dry ice, is that
dry?
All right.
Works.
Does that work pretty well? Okay.
Yeah, it works.
Mm-hmm. So I was told by someone too, like I think it's if you put something on top of dry ice, it keeps it cold. If you put dry ice on top of something, it freezes.
Oh wow!
But I don't know how accurate it is. I never tried it, but someone told me that. I can't remember who it was. Might have been Jeremy Bond. I don't know. I can't remember who it was. If they're listening, they're screaming like, "It was me, dude! I told you that." But that's kind of a nice thing to know about dry ice, I guess, because you can find that pretty much in a bunch of different places too. Now.
Yeah, bigger towns.
Yeah,
not a lot of small burgs, but bigger ones.
So how long? So you did. You started with taxidermy, and then how long into taxidermy did you start the tannery? Was that pretty quickly?
Pretty quick.
Pretty quick. Okay.
I seen I needed the cash flow. I didn't think I could get enough work to go full time for a few years while I was building the business. Right. So we started that tannery just so we had that extra work because I knew I could get all that I wanted because I knew all the taxidermists because I'd been to all them associations.
Sure.
So I started making phone calls, say, "Hey, we're doing this, we're doing that," and before you know it, we're flooded.
Well, that's good.
So yeah.
Did you do all the fleshing and tanning?
I did in the beginning with me and another guy. Yep. One of my real close friends that actually worked in our old taxidermy shop doing it for my ex-wife. He came aboard and he was doing all that hard work and the fleshing, the wheel fleshing. And that's the critical part. I mean, that takes a guy with some skills. Well, we were 1 year into it and I get a phone call from his wife. He fell out of his tree stand and broke his back. Was paralyzed.
Shit.
He was paralyzed. And I just had hired my nephew, but he hadn't done much. So we had to go through that whole learning curve again.
Oh, man.
With him. So
what travesty. Is he all right now? Or is
No, he's
still fucked. He was like paralyzed.
Paralyzed, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's travesty.
He's putting his last screw step and he got up and it broke off and
oh, no.
Dumped him like 20 foot. And he said he knew instantly he was paralyzed.
Oh, my goodness.
Thank God, he had phone and just called and it was on his father-in-law's farm and he called his wife, said, "Can you come get me?"
Wow.
So it's crazy.
Luckily, Doug, when he fell out of his tree stand, he was young still. Yeah. And he's all right. But it's like, that is such a hanging tree stand that we get complacent when we do it, you know?
Yeah.
You do it so often, you kind of just start doing it and you're just.
We all do.
Yeah, we do. But I don't know. That's why I was telling Ashley, like, I kind of want to saddle. I've never saddle hunted before, but I kind of want to start saddling just because you're tied off all the time. Like you're in the stand essentially, right?
Yeah.
While you're going up. And even when you're hanging a tree stand, I always use my lineman's rope and do that. But I mean, there's times where you're getting into the tree stand where I'm like, I have to disconnect. Yeah. I can't get it up and around this while staying connected.
Right.
So there's like, a window there where you're not connected until you get into the tree stand, then you can retie off. But like, it's
brutal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brutal.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful. So, okay. So that happened. And then you started, then your taxidermy business started obviously kicking off a little bit.
It really went quick.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, good.
Went quick.
And then how long until you started G2? Because I mean, G2
we did
old.
G2 during COVID. Mm-hmm. So at that time, the taxidermy was growing quite nice. So, we were doing a couple hundred deer head a year. And the supply chain kind of narrowed up where you couldn't get supplies. Either they were taking their time off work or whatever. But anyhow, we just could not get mannequins. So we run this business like a big business. I mean, I come from big business mentality. So, we got days aging reports and, we're trying to stay ahead and we couldn't get deer forms. So I told Lynn, I said, we can do it better than this. And that's kind of what spurred that away.
So it kind of started out of like necessity almost, like you couldn't get your supplies. So you're like, hey, we got to figure something out.
100%.
Because you're getting these deer heads in, you got to get them out to customers. You're not making money when they're sitting in the corner.
No.
So, okay.
You're getting ready to kill me.
You got to go again?
Yeah,
okay, time out.
I'm so sorry, guys.
Oh, you're fine.
Fuck. I'm not peeing good for some reason. After that story about your grandpa, I'm the one out there just barely squirting. I'm thinking,
right?
Oh, fuck, I got cancer.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Like after Grandpa passed, there's been a few times where usually when I'm like really drunk, I'm like kind of like, psh, psh, psh. Oh no, like my prostate.
Yeah.
I have cancer in it.
That's what's going on with me out there today. But
Yeah,
I know
think
what's going on. I ate those potatoes,
Mm.
and like I said, that starch and all that shit, I get instantly inflamed. Well, my prostate gets inflamed. That's part of it too.
Yeah. Yep. True.
So,
Oh,
Start
well,
another
what do
day.
you do? Move on, I guess.
Yep.
Figure it out. When does it stop? Once you are just like spraying just little drips and you really have to pee, then I'd go in because you probably have stage 4 cancer, I guess. So
Yeah, probably. That sucks.
Yeah. Anyway, so so G2, so you kicked that off because COVID
it was necessity.
everything.
It was just one of them deals where, like I said, we couldn't get the mannequins that we needed, and when you ordered, it might be 6 weeks before they would show up. We couldn't operate like that. So I had a buddy in Wisconsin that I met through the industry. He's maybe 10 years older than me, so he's in his 70s, but I knew he had sculpted for some other supply houses, and we'd talked at a show one time. He said, he said, I've got like 4 mannequins I sell out of my garage. He said, if you ever want to try one, give me a shout. Well, I never needed it. So, until now. So I called him up, and his name's Steve. I said, Steve, you still selling mannequins? He said, yeah, I got 4 sizes. I said, well, send me 4 of them. So he sent them, and they were really nice. So I called him up, and I said, what's your plan with this? He said, well, I don't want to pour his forms. He said, I'm just doing this for myself. I said, well, you want to get hooked up? I said, you sculpt them, I'll build them, and we'll build a retirement together. And today we got like 87 different sizes and poses, and it's just been, it's literally been a blessing in my life. I mean, it's just, it's on fire.
That's awesome.
It just really is. We've got a nice price point because I'm in an old barn, and I don't have any extra overhead because it was all people that I had employed anyway for the most part. I'm surrounded by wonderful young guys that run it. It's a blessing.
That's awesome.
Just a true blessing. So,
and that's honestly, that can make or break any business. If you don't have that like actual help that can make it go around, like you're not gonna be able to expand, and then you're gonna be stuck tanning and doing deer heads yourself, and you can only take in so much.
Yeah.
So you can't get the volume that's necessary. So help is like crucial.
Yeah. And if you look around, when people come here and I show them all aspects of this business, I get a lot of praise, because it is neat. But guys, it is not me. This is a combination of a lot of people, starting with, the support of my wife, and she operates everything. I mean, she tracks, from 15 when we were doing tanning, there's 15,000 deer capes. Now you got to get Jacob's back to Jacob. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy. Now today, we do between 400 and 500 whitetail. We'll process 800 deer. We're selling thousands of mannequins. I do 120 turkeys. We do 150 bear rugs a year. I mean, it takes somebody like my wife to track all that.
Right.
Because you got to know, is it at the tannery? Where's it at? What's, is this ordered? Is that ordered? I mean, we've got processes to really make it work well. But then for my wife, you got to look at all the people below. I got great people administrating the work. I got great artists. I've got a great team in the G2. I mean, it's all this goes back to, it was my brainchild, but without them, I would be in the basement doing it myself.
Yep.
Struggling, mad at the world because I didn't have any money.
Right.
Because the problem with the taxidermy end of the taxidermy business is everybody's they're riding a roller coaster high. They've killed this animal. They're happy as shit. They bring it in, they get it mounted. Well, then 6, 8, 9 months, a year later, now they got to pay for it. And they don't get picked up like they should.
Oh, really?
Like they should, yeah.
Damn.
And all the years that we've got a wall of shame of stuff that never got picked up. And it's not that big, but we know just from tracking, if we put 10 deer head in the showroom on Friday, by next Wednesday, 6 of them will be picked up on average. And 4 of them is going to take an average of 4 to 5 months.
Really?
to get picked up.
Jeez. I feel like whenever I kill something, I'm just like,
Yeah, you
I
want to
just
get back.
factor that. I factor it in.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if I don't end up getting it mounted, I'm like, okay, well, I guess I save a few bucks because,
Yeah.
you know, I ended up not getting it mounted or didn't shoot somebody. Like every year I kind of just go into the mindset of like, I'm going to shoot a wall mounter,
Right.
you know, and just have that already baked into the cake every year.
Yeah.
Because I like in like Africa and stuff like that, it's like, yeah, it takes a long time to get your taxidermy back from Africa.
Yeah.
But like we go to Africa with like, okay, here's what the hunt cost is. This is how much it costs to get there. And then this is how much the taxidermy is going to cost. And we have that all like set aside, ready to go. So I don't want like.
So you're part of the.
Imagine that
you're part of the 60%.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. I can imagine it's like dropping something off and being like, oh well, I don't have the money to pay for it.
60% will come within 3 days, typically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The other 40%, maybe 50% of those will dribble in 2 weeks, maybe. But there's some that, you know, it'll be 2-3 months.
Well, I might be in that 2 week margin just because.
Well, yeah.
3 hours north.
Yeah.
I got to get it back, get down on the weekend.
And then we factor that. We factor that as well because we're not just, you don't do the amount of work that we do locally.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're more of a, I'm not going to say nationwide, but we have a big outreach.
You do.
I mean, huge outreach. So that work isn't even part of the 10 a week, 60% program because we know those kind of clients, you know, it's special circumstances.
Right.
But even with that, normally those kind of clients, when you call them and say, hey, it's ready, they say, hey, I'll give you a credit card over the phone.
Sure.
And I'll be down in 3 weeks to get it. I mean,
exactly. Get you paid up and get it squared up and then get down there.
Yeah. So it's usually your traveling guys usually. Now we have one right now. Playing the ghost game, a deerhead, you know, he's like, well, you're supposed to got me prices on shipping. Well, we track when we call you, we say we call Jacob on 2/7 at 2:22 a.m. or 2:22 p.m. and he said this. We write that down. So then when we call you again in 2 weeks, we've got that right. So we know the chain of evidence on this thing, right? So we got this guy right now like, well, you're supposed to get me shipping prices. Well, sir, we did get you ship prices. We talked to you this day. Oh, well, yeah. Well, you never got back with me. Oh, no, we got back with you. And we even text you on this day. You know, I call it cover your own ass. You know, we cover our ass. We want to make sure because every now and then you'll get a guy that just don't have any money and can't say, hey. And you know, I would like to just say, if you don't have any money, just say, hey, guy, I want to get that picked up. I don't have it right now, and I'll work with you. I mean, I'll work with you. Yeah.
It's like
we had a guy, and I don't remember. I wouldn't even want to name his name, but he was on one of the bear hunts with WCB bears. He killed a nice bear when we mounted it. His wife got sick. She had, I think, cancer or something. I don't know, something horrible. You know, it took him like 3 years, but he'd send me $100 here, $100 there. Well, he just came like 2-3 months ago, was able to collect his. You know, I wouldn't sell that on him.
Right.
He's making an honest effort. He didn't ghost me.
Yep.
You know, he said, hey, you know, I'm in hard times. You know, I understand. I went through hard times. I understand hard times.
Yeah. It turns out most people are human. And like, as long as you're honest, like that goes a long ways.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Even with the IRS, like you were telling me earlier.
Yeah. Just be honest. Just say, hey, I don't have the money. You know, what I like is somebody loses their job and they call you and say, hey, put my deer head on hold. I love those calls.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because that's, then you don't
put it back here.
Yeah. Then we can just move them to the back of the list. Yeah. That works good. But in all honesty, in the vast amount of stuff that we tan, we don't have a very big wall of shame.
That's good.
It normally gets picked up.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Because you don't make any money when they don't pick it up. It's kind of fuck.
No.
But that's good. I mean, you got to, like I said, I can imagine just like dropping something off the taxidermist and be like, fuck, leave it there. It's obviously it's special enough to get mounted or want to get mounted at a time. Yeah. It's like just follow through eventually, you know, kind of thing.
And it usually does. But to get back to the tanning was wholesale, right? So I was working for Fred's Taxidermy, basically, you know. So on Monday morning, you call Fred and say, hey, it's going in the mail. Well, I had that money by Wednesday.
Yeah.
So that cash flowed this whole growth. You know, and we were sending out 200 of those a week on average. at $150 a piece.
Mhm.
So that cash flowed my payroll.
Yeah.
So I built this whole business with no line of credit.
That's amazing.
Because I will never have a bank ever tell me that I'm done tomorrow.
Yeah. Sorry, dude.
Because that didn't have to happen.
Right.
That was just
with your experience
bullshit.
Before, like that's what makes a good entrepreneur. Honestly, is like mistakes and learning from them and going from there, kind of deal.
Yeah.
So
I told Linda, I said, "We'll build this, and we're going to build it with no line of credit."
Mhm.
Well, we ate ramen noodles for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had employees. I never missed a heartbeat, but we hustled it to make that happen.
And ramen noodles probably didn't help your arsenic either.
I bet they're not. I know it didn't help my. I know it didn't help my heart.
I don't know. Yeah, like all the MSG probably had a little arsenic in there too. So it's like
there is some good ramen though.
There is.
Yeah,
there is. I've had a few, but I mean, whenever we get ramen, it's usually Manchu, fucking 10 cents a pack.
Yeah, yeah, it's good.
Oh yeah, I love it. I'm not gonna lie, my daughter loves it. Like, we don't eat it that much anymore. Thankfully, we're not. Thankfully, we haven't gone. Under that bad, but there was time in my life where I was eating a lot of ramen. I think everyone goes through those ramen years eventually, but now we get to kind of pick and choose when we eat ramen. So that's nice.
We eat it because we want to now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, not because we have to.
When we got on the other side of this, finally, it's doing very well. My oldest son took over the tannery.
Mm-hmm.
It's his. He rebranded it. He actually he took it over 2 years ago on this facility.
You call it New Barn Taxidermy?
Well, no, we we didn't change it because we didn't want to confuse people.
Sure.
So it was just Old Barn Tannery. He had it. It was his.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing changed basically. So we had been looking for a suitable building to move him to, because I knew this G2 was growing and I needed that warehouse and I needed this and that. So, and I honestly, if I needed to move anything, it was the tannery, because we just weren't as big as it got and as good as it was. Our facility just wasn't perfect for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, I didn't have a good way to get rid of the water. I had to haul the water to the water treatment plant. There was just a lot of roadblocks to do a tannery on this facility. So I'm laying in a field in Lubbock, Texas, shooting cranes on January 1 last year. Okay. And my phone rings, and it's my son, my oldest son. He said, "Dad," he said, "this fish market right down the road," and it's literally half a mile from his house. He said, "This fish market, something's going on. They're listing their shit on eBay." I said, "Really?" I said, "Let me make a few phone calls." So I call around. Well, the guy went bankrupt. So laying in that field, I dinked around, found out who the bankruptcy attorney was, and I got the ball rolling on that building from Lubbock, Texas, shooting cranes. Yeah.
It sucks for the guy, but
it took me 6 months to close on it, but it's got a huge walk-in cooler. It's got loading docks, so the reefers are back right up to the door.
Okay.
So, like when it was here, we'd have 2 reefer trailers clear full to have these 15,000 capes. Well, you got to monitor them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Because when the reefer goes down, temperature rises, and then you got a perishable product.
Sure.
Yep. Well, inevitably, that reefer, these were expensive. These weren't cheap. These are $60,000, $80,000 reefers, right? Inevitably, they would go down once or twice a year. Okay. So then, we had an on-call list. So you call everybody on call. Everybody would regroup here, and we would move 7,000 hides out of one reefer into another.
Oh, jeez.
With no loading dock.
Oh, man.
I was literally taking a tractor with a big loader, and we had bins. And of course, they'd have to unload a bin to get it to the door because we couldn't get anything in there, load it back up, and I'd slide it over here. And they were able to slide bins once they got into that one. Well, this was yearly. Yearly, we did that Okie shuffle. And, everybody's freaking out when we go on vacation. Who's in charge? Because you can't drop the ball on that for not even a second, right? Well, today, when his reefer goes out, he can drive his little fork truck in that reefer, and one guy move into his walk-in freezer or back.
That's awesome.
Vice versa. So, he's got the most perfect setup in the world now. So when we moved it off-site, now it was time to rebrand it. because now we didn't want people showing up here with their 15,000 Ks.
Right.
We want them going there. So he rebranded it Primal Hide Works.
Okay.
Is what he calls that now.
Okay.
And he's a grizzly looking guy. He's got the Jeremiah Johnson hair with the beard down to here. And his logo's got this big grizzly guy.
Okay.
His lead shaver's got the big beard. I mean, they got the ZZ Top thing going on.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, and it's neat. Zach was never a big marketing guy. He always told me I was a car salesman. And he always said, "Oh, Dad, I'm not ever going to be a car salesman like you." I'm like, well, you got to sell yourself. You got to get in front of people. You got to social media marketing. Zach was social media is the ruination of the world, which I believe it probably is. I'm not disputing that with him.
Right.
But today he's on social media and he does the lives and he's doing it.
Man.
He's doing it good. Yeah, I'm very proud of him.
Good.
Very
he's
proud
not
of him.
wrong, but it's just like even with this podcast, like if it wasn't for Victory Drive, I'd fucking not be on social media that much. I'd be on there a little.
You
bit,
guys are killing social media though. I love watching your content.
Thanks. I'm kind of like your son. I'm not good at that kind of shit. Like put me in front of a camera, I'm like, I don't know. I just get stupid. I feel like, but
you both are amazing at it. So
thank you.
I enjoy your content. I look forward to seeing it. I really do.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm just not. I'm really, really bad about like selling myself. Like I'm really good at like selling other people, but I'm like, you talk about me. I'm like, I don't know. I'm a big dumb fucking idiot.
Well, I am too.
With a microphone. That's
I'm
all.
I'm a little dumb. I'm a little dumb idiot. So I mean, we're the same.
Yeah, but you do have to do that though. You have to if you want to get any traction whatsoever. Then you gotta put yourself out there.
Well, back in the beginning, like when we started the taxidermy firm in '93, my other one, and all we had then was the local newspaper, right? The local radio. If you had money, Channel 7 News.
Right.
Or you went to every Ducks Unlimited, state fair, county fair. You had to market to build a business.
Yeah. That's like real marketing stuff. Like
physically go out and market. So what we did, and I knew we were going to have trouble to get it started. So what we did is I started a sporting goods store. Well, now you got every sportsman coming in your sporting goods store. So it was a sporting goods store / taxidermy.
Yeah.
That's how I built that first business.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, you got to get people indoors.
Yeah.
That's number one thing. Get people indoors, no matter how you can, kind of thing.
That worked. That blew up. It was wonderful business.
But kind of like here, too, like we were talking about your deer processing and just having a processor. Like people would kill a deer and then they're like, oh, what's the closest processor? Who does a good job? And like, well, it's also attached to a taxidermy business. It's like, well, I don't really know if I was going to mount this deer or not, but if I'm going to take him over there anyways, might as well get him caped out and mounted. Well, he's all one done shot. Here's your meat.
There's guys that I don't even know come in from Muscatine all over, especially on a hot night. If they shoot on a hot night, they roll it down here. Well, they might have a good taxidermist, and I'm a firm believer in cheating on your taxidermist is just about as bad as cheating on your wife.
Yeah,
I'm that guy. If you got a good guy, and if he's getting it out in a good fashion, and you got a good relationship, don't cheat on him. If he can't get it back to you, whatever. I mean, there's circumstances that you change, right? But we'll have people come in like, well, so and so does my head, but man, your heads are nice, and I just drove 4 hours. I don't have to come back. You just do my taxidermy. So, I mean, it took us from mid 2s to mid 4s, Yeah,
that's amazing.
And then
convenience.
I seen the value of influence early as influence grew. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, and I hooked up the right influence along the way. And my first influence was Johnny Utah. And then, he introduced me to Kurt and the boys. So that was my second, big move. Today I've got a lot of influencers, and that is good marketing.
Oh yeah.
And that's how I met you guys was through, the podcast. And, and it's just so many great things have happened because of influence.
Yep. Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's one of those things too, like, I know Kurt, I talked to Kurt a lot about it too. And it's like Ashley and I know Kurt too, like we don't like to, we'll never be, I don't even like saying influencer or whatever else, or podcast. We don't want to promote a company just because they're writing a check.
Right.
And like, it's like, we got to actually believe in it, because I can't sell something I don't believe in. Like I'm not a used car salesman. I can't sell you a piece of shit car knowing that's a piece of shit.
Right.
Kind of thing. So it's like when we're working with the company. It's like we want
You
to
believe
help
in it.
out. Like I want to help
You
out
become family.
Sam Gaylord from Old Barn Taxidermy because I believe in what you're doing and you're a good guy and I
Yeah.
like helping good people, in any way I can too.
And
So it's like we all work together and
it don't take you long as a business owner to see through who is there for the check.
Right.
And who is there because they fell in love with you, your product, your brand.
Yeah.
And you fall in love with one another. But you can literally see, because several times in this influence game for me, I would start with somebody and then they would get several bigger clients. Next thing you know, you're clear down here on the bottom and not getting any attention from them or no love from them. Well, then when you kind of pull the reins back, then you're the asshole.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And I hate that.
That's not fun.
No, because all the influencers I've hooked up with, I believed in them.
Yeah.
And I still believe in them and love them, but, I want to get my dollar's worth.
Right. Where's the ROI on that?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's like you do have to think about business too.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if I'm spending money, it's like, that's one thing too, is like, I mean, like you don't pay me, but I like you.
Yeah.
And I love talking to you. So that's kind of why we're here too. It's like one of those things where, when you do start accepting paychecks too, as a person that if you're, in the influencer game and stuff like that, you have someone that's, like Grizzly too, like Grizzly Coolers, they're the title sponsor of Victory Drive.
Oh, yeah.
They jumped in right away. I'm like, well, that's fucking amazing. And it's like, I've seen other people where it's like people jump in early and then as they get bigger, then like you said, they fall to the wayside. I'm like, that's just kind of,
you guys are doing it right.
Disrespectful, but it's like I've seen that happen with other people though. And it's like, damn dog.
What happened to me? It's happened to me a couple different times, and not to the point where I still have relationships.
Oh, for
with
sure.
those influencers. I just cut. We just cut the packages way back. And,
business. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things that ebb and the flow of relationships and business. I guess.
At the end of the day, I just love doing this.
Yeah,
and it's like even if I make $0, like we're deep in the red with this motherfucking trailer, but it's fun.
Yeah,
and we have thank God I have a good job with a good boss, and she has a good job with a good boss. Like it allows us to have the freedom to do this stuff.
Yeah,
and not go in the red like too bad where we're eating ramen.
Right.
Out of necessity.
Right.
We still get to eat ramen for fun. But it's like we're deep in the red on this podcast. Like I'm not making fucking nothing. But it's fun and I love doing it. Yeah. So it's like as long as you keep that mindset, then it's all gonna work out. Even if I do this for 20 years and make $0, I'm still having fun.
I call it crawl, walk, and run.
Yeah.
You're just it'll turn.
Yeah. It will.
It'll turn. Just keep plugging at her.
Yep, one foot in front of the other.
Like you said, that's like the taxidermy. When I first took this to my wife, she's like, "Well, we'll never make a good living doing this." I'm like, "Well, are we rich? No, not at all. I call it hillbilly wealthy. I got a decent truck,
right?
I don't have a big boat, but I got a nice John boat. I got an Argo 12,000. I don't have a sports car. I can afford to go to Africa.
Yeah, right. I'm looking at you. I don't see any gold chains or a Rolex either. So.
No, I'm not getting wealthy here, but I make a good living and I'm able to employ some really wonderful people and pay them as well as I can.
And you're able to enjoy your fourth quarter.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love
That's what matters the most.
I work 10 to 2.
Mm-hmm.
Try it only 4 days a week, 10 to 2.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I love that.
That's great.
But without those people, I'd have to work 10 to 10.
Hey, yeah, right. You'd be in your fourth quarter acting like you're in your first quarter still.
Yeah,
we don't want to be doing that.
That would suck.
But awesome, Sam. I really do appreciate you coming on. We probably have to get going to the clinic here pretty soon. So
yeah.
But this has been amazing. Thank you so much for taking us on a tour and showing us the whole facility.
I'm just so impressed you brought this trailer down.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the highlight of my day when I walked down. I was sitting in my driveway. So
awesome.
You guys, I've been watching you build this, and I just thought, man, this is special.
Thanks a lot. I
this
really
is
appreciate
special. You two are special. You guys are. This has been so many good things that happened out of the working class family.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So many good things,
for sure.
And I'm blessed. I got on that pretty early.
Yeah, you did.
Not in the beginning, but early.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm blessed every day.
Yeah. I was a listener when you came on, actually, on the working class. I remember
Really?
announcing it. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
What a great community you guys are building.
Yeah, thank you.
I love this. This is amazing.
Thanks a lot. We really appreciate that.
Yeah.
We're going to keep rolling. Pun intended.
There you go.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Sam. I appreciate it.
Thank you.